Why would I chase you and I'm the one that gotta pay for everything?
Wait a minute.
That nigga got a point.
Why would I chase you when women don't run from the niggas they want?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
If a man ever brags that they do not chase women, oh, she's falling down. If they brag that they do not chase women, if they brag that they're not going to go out of their way for a woman, you like men. You want to be a princess. You want a man to chase you. They haven't admitted to themselves that they are like,
Shut up, bitch! Ooh, you suck!
What's going on, YouTube? It is your boy Rome back with another video. If you're new to the platform, welcome to the tribe. By the end of this video, I hope you subscribe. So we got a young lady here. I actually reacted to her before because her face looks familiar. It was probably, if I remember so correctly, I believe I was in Bali around the time. I can't remember what it was about, but looking at her content, what she had to say here in this video was pretty much smeared all over her page on TikTok. But anyway, this woman here is over here using the old classic, he must like men if he's not thirsty for women. Yeah, I know, right? When have we not heard that before? Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it.
if a man ever brags that they do not chase women, oh, she's falling down. If they brag that they do not chase women, if they brag that they're not going to go out of their way for a woman, you like men. You want to be a princess. You want a man to chase you. They haven't admitted to themselves that they are like actually gay, okay? Because a guy who, like, guys know, like, it's not about chasing women in particular. Like, it's more about pursuing a woman, okay? If they're like bragging that they do not pursue women, like, you're kind of girly, kind of weird. It's just not a flex, because the girls that are actually of high quality are going to not chase you. They're not going to chase your validation. They're not going to go out of their way to prove to you that they're worth being picked, okay? Because a lot of the high quality women that you want are going to require you to pursue them. And yes, I am referring to pursuing, not chasing. So if a woman's not showing any signs of interest, of course the guy shouldn't have to chase them, right? But if you're bragging that, oh yeah, like, I just, I'm not going to chase a woman. I'm going to have her come to me. I'm not going to pursue women. I'm going to have her come to me. She needs to show me that she's worth being with. Like, I'm sorry, in what world? You are not the prize. The woman is the prize, always. And if you think you're the prize, sir, I think you need to be with men. You need to be with men, and you have to acknowledge the fact that you might possibly be gay. And that's okay. Just learn to accept it. Stop complaining, because the girls that you really want are going to require a little bit of effort. Sorry, sir. It's just how it is.
This woman really actually hit record and said what she said and looked at it and thought about it and decided to upload this. Did anybody see the backpedaling going on halfway through the video? It went from chasing to pursuing. Oh, and yeah, and if she's not showing interest or reciprocating anything, yeah, of course you shouldn't be chasing her and yada yada. What do you think men are on these platforms saying, Miss Lady? Dead ass, bro. You cannot make this shit up. The only reason why you backpedaled is because I think while you was recording this, you realized how ridiculous you sound over here using these typical glazed slurs that you women like to use to try to shame men into babying you and being thirsty for you and chasing you. I find it very, very interesting how on one hand women can sit over here and call men thirsty, but now that men have actually listened and locked in and are no longer doing that, now all of a sudden women got a problem with it. It just goes to show you that women actually value the attention of men, even the ones that they have no interest in whatsoever and would never give them the time of day, wouldn't even look their way. It's ridiculous. Let's keep it moving.
I remember I had posted a video, right? And in the video, I was like, so I'm supposed to chase you just so I can pay all your bills? And then everybody in the comments were going crazy. They were calling me a little boy, I'm not a man, all type of shit. And of course, you know who it was. It was the woman. But then I started thinking, right? I was like, bro, I'm African. And we're very traditional when it comes to like gender roles and stuff in the relationship, right? And even with that, I've never once in my life heard a family or parents telling their daughter, oh, just sit and wait and hope somebody comes and saves you. Or just sit and wait and hope a husband comes and finds you and pays for everything you got. Unless they were from the village and they were poor. Yeah, unless they were from the village and they were poor, I've never heard any African parents say that to the daughters. And I'm only comparing it to Africans because I'm African. That's the only thing I know about, you feel me? So with this connection, it leads me to believe that anybody who is having this mindset of I'm gonna wait for somebody to come save me is just poor. Yeah, you're just a poor person. Yeah, thanks for coming to my TED.
My thoughts exactly. If you got to think about this, you guys. If men that are from more traditional countries outside of the United States are thinking the exact same way, what the hell do you expect American men to do? What do you expect American men to do? Come on now. Let's be real here.
I think one of the problems that we face now is that for so long as women, as a gender, we've said, don't approach me. Don't approach me when I look cute. Don't approach me at the gas station. Don't approach me when I look busted down. Like, just don't approach. And men have gotten to the point where they're just like, I don't know when to approach you. I'm not sure. Now, in my younger years, right? Because it's been a while since I dated, but in my younger years, you make eye contact with the guy, and it was like an unspoken, yes, you can approach me, like unspoken permission. I don't know if that's happening anymore. I think that at this point, men have just kind of gotten turned away by all of the turn downs, by all of the rejection is the word I'm looking for. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman approaching a man, but be prepared for rejection. I'll just say that, just like men have been getting rejected as women, if you choose to approach, you're going to have to be prepared for that rejection.
I mean, honestly, I don't think all of this conversation and all these talks about men not approaching women, I don't think it's true. I think it's a farce. And the reason why I say that is because it seems like every other day I'm coming across a video that's saying that men are approaching women and they don't like the way these men are approaching them. And I don't see how all of these women are getting approached every time they leave the house. But then you also have women that are also saying that men don't approach anymore. Somebody is not telling the truth. And honestly, let's say that it's not a farce, right? Let's say that men aren't approaching, because I think there are, a pretty large group of men that aren't approaching women, but I think that's always existed. I don't think that it has changed a whole lot, but if we're going to say that it changed, it definitely changed in the wake of social media. If you get drilled into your head so much that all of these bad things are going to be said to you, or you're going to make women feel a certain type of way if you approach them, then most men might bow out of doing most of the approaching. But the other thing is this, right? We have gotten to the point to where approaching women was a traditional thing, right? But if we have a lot of women wanting to say that we need men to be more vocal, we want them to have emotional intelligence, we want them to say the things that they want out of the relationship, all these different things, right? We want men to act better in society, especially towards women, then certain things are going to change, right? And a part of that might be the approach. A lot of times, if a man is becoming more emotionally intelligent, and let's say he's doing the work on himself, he's trying to be more proactive in his life, he's trying to build himself up even more, go to therapy, do all these things, get himself ready for a life with a woman, right? If he's doing all these things, he might just realize he might want some reciprocal activity. He might want, a woman to show interest in him too. Maybe it's not as obvious nowadays as it was back then for when it's okay for a man to approach a woman. I've seen videos of the 90s women, and y'all have seen those videos, and you can tell the women in those videos, they were okay with men approaching them. But it kind of doesn't seem like that now. It's not the same. And I'm not saying that I'm correct on that. It could be a situation where maybe they were uncomfortable. I don't know. But I just believe that, with all the changes that's been asked of men, and just all the changes in general with social media and all this stuff, it's caused men to kind of change. Some of them are scared to approach. Some of them just won't approach because they feel like, what's the point? I also don't want to make her feel like I'm a threat, like I'm going to harm her in any way. It's many different issues with that. I don't know if there's ever going to be a return back to the traditional days where men, for the most part, were approaching women. Now, I think that women should approach men. I don't think there's a problem with that. And I think the easiest thing to do would be to just say, hey, my name is XYZ. I'm Keisha. I'm Letitia. Whatever your name is. If you introduce yourself, you're opening a door. It can be as simple as that. But like my beautiful wife said here, if you get rejected, that's part of the game, unfortunately. You got to be ready for that.
I agree with some of your points, but I'd have to say that I disagree with the thought process that men not approaching women is a farce because social media is showing us that, women are being approached and they don't like it. I think that two things can be true at once, right? I believe that oftentimes we live in different realities. If I am the type of person that is, all I do is go to the farmer's market and festivals and church and the library and things like that, I'm probably not being approached a lot of times, right? Because the type of person that goes to those events, it's not going to be a mad rush to be approached. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, if I'm the type of person who is at day parties and at the club and at lounges, True. Then I'm probably constantly being approached because that's the type of environment that I'm in. So I think it has to do with your environment. And we've talked about this before, right? When you're looking for your people, when you're looking for your person, be that a romantic mate, a friendship mate, or what have you, you want to go to these things that interest you. Mm-hmm. You want to go places where the type of person that you would be interested in is going, right? If those types of places are low-key places where it's not the type of environment where you're going to be approached, and this is I'm speaking specifically to the woman, right? And you're seeking to be approached in those types of atmospheres, and the type of people, the type of men that are going to go to those things, they may not be emboldened to walk up to you and approach you. They may be dealing with ongoing rejection, and they might just be at the point where they don't want to approach women anymore, and you might have to do the approaching. That is the reality in which we live now, that some men are going to be uncomfortable with putting themselves out on the line. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman approaching me. I will say this though, after the approach, my guy, you're gonna have to step up, because I'll approach you. That's fine. That's cool. We can do the initial thing. But ultimately, I need a man's man that's gonna take the lead and take control.
But I don't think men would have a problem doing that though, if they know that the door is open.
I agree, and this could just be my mindset, right? What I don't want is, because I approached you, it seems like I am the leader. I don't want to be the leader in this relationship. That is not the type of relationship that I am in particular and looking for.
Well, see, that's the thing though. I don't think that most men would just take that as you just being a leader. I think that he would just take that as you showing mutual interest. And I don't think that that's a bad thing. I think that's a fantastic thing, because that lets the man know that, hey, if I'm okay with putting myself out here, then she should be okay with putting herself out here, and vice versa. I don't see a problem with it.
And if that's the thought point, then I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I think after that door is open and you've shown the interest, the initial interest, if he's interested, now let's just throw that out there. If he's interested, I think most men would pursue after that, because why not? Men are already taught to pursue and to be the leader. So, why would he not?
I just don't want the roles accidentally reversed.
But see, that's the thing though. See, y'all get into these relationships and y'all thinking like you just said, and then all of a sudden you can't initiate nothing at all.
Now, I'm not saying that.
See,
that's not what I'm saying. You can absolutely still initiate, but for me, again, I like.
Now, I actually want to add to that conversation, because I always found that interesting, because I think this is one of those rare situations where two things can be true at the same time. Because on one hand, you have women complaining about being approached in a way that they don't like, while at the same time you have women over here saying that they're really not being approached anymore. I think it has more so to do with what they referred to in this video about, whatever setting that you're in. I wouldn't be shocked if the women that complain about not being approached, 9 times out of 10, they're probably not going to places where men would typically approach at a higher rate in comparison to I don't know, let's say a library or something, for example. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to maybe like a bar lounge or a club, like she mentioned. So when I think about it, I think that might actually play a factor, and I think another reason why I think that might be true is because it seems like, from what I can tell, every time I cover a video of a woman talking about these single events, they kind of come off like women that really don't go out like that. I don't know why. That's just a hunch. I could be wrong. If so, that's cool. It ain't a big deal. But I don't know. It's just because I just find that a bit weird that with so many attractive women claiming that they're going to these single events and can't find what they're looking for. My thing is, why come y'all just can't go to a regular bar or lounge and get approached, or maybe approach the man that you want? So I don't know. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. But yeah, I definitely see where they're coming from. That's a very good point. I think your environment and the setting definitely plays a part.
I had a conversation with someone the other day, and we were talking about how to break up with someone when there's nothing wrong with the relationship. And it just made me feel like, damn, that's so true. Like, how does one break up with someone when there's actually no reason to break up? Like, it's so much easier to just blame it on someone cheating or being treated like shit. But when you find that there's nothing wrong, like there's no specific, like, dramatic reason, then it is so much harder to break up with someone. But I would tell you that I've actually been through that experience. My last relationship, there was no, like, real big reason as to why. So it made it all so much harder. And the one thing that I noticed was that I was fighting with my ego and thinking, like, every time that I felt like something was going wrong, or I felt like I had this, like, intuition feeling, this gut feeling that, you know, I wasn't happy, or, you know, this relationship wasn't right, I kind of just ignored it, or I would find any excuse as to why that was, like, ridiculous, you know? Or I would think, oh, you're just overthinking, you're just crazy, whatever. So all of that came up for ages. And I think this happens with a lot of us. But, like, your gut instinct is incredibly powerful, and is something that you must always listen to, because there is a higher self, a higher version of you, which is your higher self, which is literally giving you those nudges as to, like, you shouldn't be doing this, or you should go into this direction. And it must never be ignored, because sooner rather than later, you're going to have to face it. And the longer you delay it, the harder it's going to be. And it is a tough situation. It's a tough conversation to have with someone, especially when there's no actual reason. It's like the whole, hey, it's not you, it's me. But what I'm saying is that your higher self knows. It knows what's up, and you cannot ignore that. So trust it. Don't delay it, because you're gonna have to face it anyway. And like I said, it took me so long. I delayed it for a while. And now it makes sense. At the time, it didn't make sense, and it's not always going to make sense in the moment. But trust me, it will make sense later on in life. Like, you will look back and you'll realize it had to happen and why it had to happen.
There has got to be a logical reason why somebody would want to end a relationship. Putting it down to intuition is way too vague and borderline insulting to their partner. But this just proves that some women are always reaching for something better when it concerns men. They are usually not satisfied with something comfortable and secure. There's always another list of requirements to be sought after, based upon the idea of them believing they deserve the best and that they should know their worth. Men have always been accused of objectifying women, but women see men as objects too. It's just that the objectification is different. The objectification is more towards qualities, job, emotional stimulation, and resourcefulness the man has to offer. And if he doesn't fit this long list of requirements, he gets traded out for another guy who is able to offer more. The objectification is based upon a man's success, not just solely his looks. And in my personal opinion, it makes the objectification far worse, because it becomes more daunting for the man to be able to uphold it.
Yes, it is daunting.
See, this right here, I think this is one of those reasons why I'm starting to hear more men say that women need to be able to keep themselves busy or something. Because I don't know what it is, but you constantly see this narrative of women saying, oh, he's good for me, but no, I like this guy better, or he's good for me, but I'm just not feeling him like that, which is basically her saying I'm not sexually attracted to him, more than likely, or he's boring or something to that degree, right? It's always something, and then I be thinking to myself, like, if a man was talking like this and putting this out on the internet for see, dude, women would whip, bro, they would tear him to shreds. For some reason, women, as much as, and I say this all the time, as much as women complain about the dating pool not having enough good men, they simultaneously at the same time say it's okay to leave a good man, as if there's just so many of them available. Do y'all not see how hypocritical that sounds?
Get ready with me for a first date. It has been cancelled and rescheduled about 5 times. It's been planned for almost a month, and the way that I met this guy is so crazy that I can't not go on the date. He just messaged me and he's cancelled again. I literally can't do this anymore.
Wow, talk about letting Chad get away with all sorts of disrespect. I wouldn't be surprised if she gave him another chance and he did it to her again.
Yeah, I probably did.
I've lost my whole family and it sucks. So a lot of times when people ask me if they should do porn, I tell them no. I tell them that it makes life really hard. It makes dating really hard. It makes your family life really hard. It makes intimacy hard. You're putting yourself out there and the world is now judging you. You have to be okay with being shamed every day of your life. I don't even want to have children because I do porn, because I'm worried of the way that people will treat my child. With me personally, my mom was supportive in the beginning. She kind of just let me do whatever, that I think it was a good thing. I had a lot of freedom. As time progressed and I became successful, I started to feel like my mom was using me so that she could live a more luxurious lifestyle. When I started to set like these boundaries, not giving her money or things like that, it made our relationship a bit more difficult and almost toxic. And so it sucks. I don't have a mom anymore. I don't talk to her. I miss having a mom. I feel like you can't rewind and you can't go back. I don't have that relationship with her anymore. I don't ever think I will. And that bums me out. Bums me out a lot. I talked to my dad and he struggles with my job being in the industry. He's also religious. Recently I wanted to go visit him and he said that I can't go visit because his wife, my stepmom, doesn't want me there. I'm not allowed to go visit my dad anymore because my stepmom doesn't like that I do porn. But then he told me that when I was like, can we go get coffee and we could go get breakfast? And he's like, I don't want to be seen in public with you. And that just fucking hurt so bad. And it sucks. I lost my family. I don't talk to my brothers or sisters. I think that they all kind of try to take advantage of me and stuff, or they're just my dad don't want to be around me.
It doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that doing that line of work can destroy your life, your relationships, and your future. In my personal opinion, anybody who has a friend or family member who supports them doing that line of work, they don't really care about them. If you randomly met her in the street, you would think she looks too innocent to be doing something like that. Little would you know, she is taking multiple zinc shots for a living. I hope this becomes a lesson to young women to never believe the lie that corn is glamorous, because it's far from glamorous.
It's trash.
Has anyone else noticed how rare it is for a mother to disown her daughter if she ends up getting into the adult film industry? I find that very, very intriguing, bro. I mean, the sisterhood is so loyal that they will throw motherhood, morality of motherhood out the window for the sake of, you know, supporting a girl who get her back blown out on camera. But I find that very interesting. And when you ever hear about the father, they either disown them or they don't really talk to them like that. And if they are cool with it, they end up coming off beta as French toast. So it's like it's just typical. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but I've always noticed that.
So it's day one at a real job after being a spicy content creator for 2 years. And after a 10-hour shift, I honestly am really tired, but I just feel so fulfilled that I've actually got a normal job again and I've actually worked. Like, I can't describe the feeling. Like, I don't know, I just feel so much better than, sitting at home all day and doing the content creation. I'd rather just have a real job and actually feel like I've got a purpose, and helping in society. I don't know, it's just no better feeling than this.
Look at what we have here, an ex-OF creator. The images and videos she profited from are going to be around forever. It's only a matter of time before she gets exposed.
Y'all let me know what you thought about this. If you're new to the platform, please subscribe. OGs, I appreciate the love and support. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. That way y'all know when I'm uploading. Hit the like button because that's with the algorithm and helps me reach a broader audience. Also look out for the travel vlog channel as well as the live show channel. Both links are in the description. Until the next video, y'all. Deuces.